Friends, welcome back. I am Jason. Modern or old school, which is for you? Friends, I've clocked a little over 3,000 miles on this XR150L right here, this beast of a machine with a whopping 12 horsepower. I've got a little over 6,000 miles on my XR650L, and I absolutely love it. This motorcycle is almost completely stock, almost no modifications whatsoever, aside from adding my trunk here. And I also deleted some of the smog emissions off of the top right there. That's gone. But other than that, it's even got the same stock tires. This machine has been modified to suit all of my needs. I am not the kind of guy that goes out and buys all of the doodads just to look cool and sound cool. And I don't need more horsepower because I'm not that good of a rider. You give me 80 horsepower on a motorcycle like this, I'm only going to be able to use about half of it, generally speaking. So this motorcycle makes about 40 horsepower. This motorcycle makes about 12 horsepower. And you do want a few extra ponies a lot of the time, especially if you hit any kind of hills. 12 horsepower is just not quite enough. This one has plenty. I've never been on this motorcycle and be like, man, if I just had a little bit more horsepower, I could do some amazing things. No, it's limited by me and my skills and my ability. I've done nothing to the suspension. I have put some aggressive tires on here. These are the D Sport tires from Tusk, and these are pretty great. While they don't last that long, they offer a lot of traction, and for that reason, I really enjoy it when you're off-road. These tires are just barely enough off-road. I mean, just very, you gotta be very careful to keep that front end from slipping out from underneath you on slick surfaces. Both are air-cooled, carbureted. Old school designs that just get the job done, and that is what I love about it. I mean, there's definitely some advantages to the newer electronically controlled fuel-injected motorcycles with all the doodads and the ECUs that you can on the fly adjust and modify. I don't want any of that crap. I mean, yeah, if you're riding through different varying elevations and there's varying oxygen levels in the air and that's affecting the way your motorcycle's running, sure, I get it. That's where maybe a carburetor is going to be a little bit lacking. But other than that, the simplicity and the ease of maintenance on these types of motorcycles, I think far outweighs all of the doodads. I just don't like any of that stuff. I don't want to have to read a manual to know how to adjust, to switch off the anti-lock brakes and the traction controls, and I don't want any of that stuff. I want to be in charge of the motorcycle. I want to be the one that's doing the things, not the other way around. Now, if you're a newer rider, a smaller rider, a shorter rider, this motorcycle, this XR150L here, is fantastic. I mean, I could put both feet firmly on the ground pretty much all the time without question. There's never too much power. It's difficult to kind of break that rear end free and kick the back tire out. You got to really be on some sort of slicker surface and really get on it, and a little bit of body English is required sometimes to make that happen. It's not really going to get away from you. You're not going to whiskey throttle it and wheelie out of control. That's not going to happen. But I tell you what, friends, every time I get on this motorcycle, a big smile comes across my face. And it's just so effortless and fun to ride. It's probably the easiest motorcycle that I've ever ridden. It's so manageable and just like I said, effortless. It's just easy. You get on it and you smile and you're having a good time from start to finish. Just don't try to get on an interstate. You might get run over. Top speed that I've found on this thing's about 60 miles an hour. And that's on a good day with the tailwind and possibly a little bit of a downhill. I've had a passenger on here, and we have covered some serious miles on this hog. I get about 80 miles per gallon, give or take. And that's kind of in conjunction with having a passenger and me riding by myself and hauling gear and all that kind of stuff. So if I was to really baby it and cruise at like 45, top speed, and have nobody on the back and no gear, I'd probably get closer to 100 miles per gallon if I had to guess, but I haven't tested that yet. So for efficiency and ease of riding and cost, this motorcycle is so great. I got this for 2,600 bucks. You can get them new for, you know, probably 4, give or take, out the door. I don't know exactly, but you can find a used one on the market that's just barely used, and you can save yourself a lot of money and have miles per smiles. Oh my gosh, this thing is going to be really hard to beat. All right. The problem with the XR650L, like I just demonstrated, is the height. It is a tall motorcycle. If you're not a taller rider, you're gonna have a difficult time. I guess you could try to lower it and do all the things, but good grief, who wants to go through all that trouble? Buy a motorcycle that fits you to start with. It's my opinion. Unless you're really short, then good luck. It's a little bit heavy as far as, you know, dirt bikes go. On the dirt bike scale, it's gonna be at the top of the charts. It weighs about 350 pounds, give or take. I just absolutely love this motorcycle. It has been one of my favorite motorcycles that I've ever owned, and I've owned quite a few from various different brands, from Kawasaki to KTM. I've owned a bunch of different ones, and I really enjoy the simplicity and the tractor-like ability of this motorcycle, and its durability and ease of maintenance, and I just really like it. Like I said, I've done a lot of stuff to this motorcycle. I put a big gas tank on it. This is a 5.8 gallon gas tank, if I'm not mistaken, because I wanted to not run out of gas. When I go ride with buddies, you know, when we go on some bigger rides, they're always searching for gas, and it's like the Exxon Valdez here, and I've definitely tapped into my tank and given them some fuel multiple times, because I'm gonna be the last one to run out, and I really like that capability of having an extended range. These are Tusk handguards here that I got off a different motorcycle, one of my older bikes, but I made these out of PVC pipe. Cool, huh? I've added, you know, USB chargers. I've put a skid plate underneath this beast right here to protect it when I'm doing some more serious off-roading. What else have I done? Stock exhaust on both machines. We'll talk about that more in just a bit. Got a first aid kit mounted to the front of this one. I definitely put some taller handlebars and some risers on here. Being the stock form on this motorcycle, when you'd stand up and ride, it was just a little bit too low. Like I wasn't in a very comfortable riding position, and now it's absolutely perfect. I really like the way this bike is set up. Love this motorcycle. It's been so great. I've had a couple of very minor electrical issues with this motorcycle. Only issues that I've had, I haven't done any maintenance to it at all, actually, other than like grease the chain and change the oil. I think that's it. I haven't even changed the air filter yet on this. It's been 3,000 miles. I should probably take a look at that, but it still runs good. But I've had a couple little issues, like it runs a little bit funny, a little bit of a miss when the kickstand's down, which I find to be strange. It's running okay right now. And the headlight seems to flicker just a little bit at night. I've noticed it the other night when I was riding. The headlight just kind of goes dim bright every now and then. Not sure what's going on there. Loose connection, bad ground. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But listen to her purr. I mean, you could hardly, you walk about 10 feet away and you're like, wait, is it still running? I'm not sure. Significantly noisier, obviously. Much bigger engine, more displacement, more noise. These are both stock exhausts. I'm not the kind of guy that's into modifying the motorcycle. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I didn't do anything to this motorcycle that I didn't absolutely feel like I needed to do to protect it, to make it last longer, make it more durable, to get me from A to B. And like I said, I've done pretty much nothing to this one. Exhaust, like guys like to make lots of noise, you know, that makes them feel faster. I don't know. I mean, I get the advantages of having a lightweight aftermarket aluminum exhaust. I get that, like, for sure. And then, you know, if one day I bash this one in on a rock or something like that, and it needs to be replaced, you know, I might upgrade to a lighter weight exhaust, but I'm not looking for noise. Now, if a little bit more noise helps with performance, okay, sure. But it's just not really worth it to me. Like, again, I'm not that great of a rider, and I'm not going to notice a 5% gain in horsepower, if you even get that. So it's not a big deal. It's not going to make me that much better. It's not going to make me more reliable. It's not going to get me there faster. I'm riding as fast as I could go for the most part, or as fast as I want to go anyway. This motorcycle really, really reminds me of my first truck. I think I was 17, 18, maybe, when I bought my first truck. It was a 4-cylinder Ford Ranger, 2-wheel drive. It had no options. I think it had an AM FM radio, and that was it. Nothing else. A bench seat, you know, the vinyl bench seat, the rubber floors. That was it. Single cab, nothing. No bells, no whistles at all. And I loved it. I just absolutely loved it, how simple it was. It was perfect. It was 2-wheel drive. So you could get into some trouble, which I did on multiple occasions, going to places where I probably didn't belong in a 2-wheel drive truck. And you could potentially do something like that on here as well. You could get into some pretty gnarly situations where the suspension, which only has about 7 inches of travel on the front and back, and it's very soft, you could potentially get yourself into some gnarly situations where you got to go really slow to kind of navigate your way through a difficult terrain. But again, I absolutely love how simple this thing is. There's no bells, no whistles. Same can be said basically for this one right here, this XR650. Not a lot of bells, not a lot of whistles. It is about as bare bones as it gets. It's as simple as it gets. And I would compare this more to my current vehicle, which is a giant big F350 4-wheel drive, you know, decked out. And I've modified it to suit my needs to go on the adventures that I like to go on. It's heavy duty, it's durable, and it's going to get the job done. I hit a deer with my truck. Not proud of it, but it happened. I hit a deer with my truck. So last year maybe, didn't even notice. Not a scratch, nothing. Nothing was wrong with my truck whatsoever. Other people in little cars and whatnot hit a deer and it's completely totaled. That's kind of what I relate this thing to. It is beefy. I can bang through some serious obstacles as hard as I want, and I know that I don't really have a whole lot to worry about. I've got nearly a foot of travel on the front and back. I forget what exactly it is, but it's a lot. And then I've got that big heavy duty skid plate there, and there's a huge amount of ground clearance right there. And it's rare that you bottom it out. You give me a big log or something like that. It's happened where I've had to kind of skid over a log, but rare that I hit anything on the bottom. That's not the case with this one. A little bit lower to the ground, and I have dinged a couple things here and there, going places where I probably shouldn't be. Now, if you're the kind of guy that just wants to get out there and cruise, you want a little commuter to go from A to B, you want to hit a little fire road, dirt road here and there, and you're not in a hurry, man, this thing is awesome. My wife loves riding on the back of this thing because it's so comfortable.
Should have worn a sports bra on this road.
The seat is wide and squishy. It's good grief, I'm so sweaty already. It's like 9:30 in the morning. It's so hot. But she's a big fan of riding on this one because of how comfortable the sitting position is. She's not all hunched up. The XR650 is not as comfortable for a passenger as this one is here. And I've actually taken off the passenger pegs off that bike because she just likes riding this one. If we go double, we hop on this one. As ridiculously slow as it is, it still gets the job done as long as you're not in a hurry. Now, if you want an old school bike that is so steady and so reliable and will get you from A to B, and it will get you there in a hurry if you want it to, and it can bang through some big obstacles and climb some big hills, and you're never going to be like, oh, I wish I had more horsepower. It always gets the job done. Then this XR650 is the one. It's tall. If you're not I'm 5'10", and I would say if you're shorter than that, you're going to have a little bit of a difficult time in its stock configuration here. If I had to choose one of these motorcycles, if I had to pick one, if you said, Jason, you got to get rid of one of these, you can only have one, which one would I pick? Well, friends, That's a tough one, and I really don't appreciate you putting me on the spot. I don't appreciate the kind of pressure that you're putting me under. But if I had to pick one, just one, I'd probably go with the 650. Just because of how, I mean, like I said, you can just abuse the thing, bang through big stuff, and it doesn't matter, and it just always gets the job done. It's probably a little bit more versatile. It's a lot more capable, and you don't have to be as careful with it as you do on this one on more difficult terrain. If you're not going to ever get on difficult terrain, you don't ever plan on riding any off-road trails, where there's going to be rocks and roots and hill climbs and all that stuff, then this one's perfectly fine. Absolutely love it. Smile so big every time I get on it. And this bike is the one I hop on. If I'm going around the homestead here, I've got about 15 acres. And sometimes it's convenient to throw some stuff in the trunk here and ride over on the other side of the property to do whatever. I've got to take some tools over there to do a thing. The tractor gets broke down again. And I need to haul some tools over there in the field. Then this is the bike that I would hop on because it's just so easy to get on it. Pow! It doesn't take long to warm it up. None of that. You just get on it and go. And it's so easy and effortless. But again, if I was just going to pick one, I really like this 650. I really enjoy riding it. They're both inexpensive comparatively. This one's really inexpensive compared to other motorcycles. This one, I think brand new, is probably $7,000, something like that. And I really enjoyed the 6,000 plus miles that I've put on it. Every single one has been a joy. I've laid it down a bunch of times. I've crashed it quite a few times, but it just keeps on going. This one I haven't dropped yet. I haven't crashed this one yet. Anyway, friends, I want to know what you think about this in the comment section. Let me know. If you had to pick one of these motorcycles, which one would you go with? If you're a new school guy and you love your ECUs and being able to fiddle with all the doodads and the fuel injection and the traction control and anti-lock brakes, if you love all that stuff and all those options, let me know. And let me know why. Why do you like all that stuff? Me personally, less is more. I would pay more for less. That's just me. Thanks for watching, friends. I really appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until next time, what's the worst that could happen? Let's just go on 3.